Welcome back to the shop, everyone. Today we're going to start making a dresser valet, otherwise known as the place to throw all your junk when you come in from outside. What we've got here is some black walnut that I had left over from another project, so we are going to cut this up into miter fold size. So I'm going to miter all my 45s. As you can see, I've kind of roughed them in here. Um, and then this is going to be kind of a work in progress as we go, because I don't really have any plans to work off of and I didn't draw anything up. So I'm just going to kind of let the material dictate where I go. So this is what I've got to work with. So we're going to kind of see where we can go. I'd like to put a drawer in this as well, but I don't know if it's going to work out. I think we're also going to do some splines in the miter fold. So we're going to do lengthwise splines in there and see how all this goes. All right, let's get making some sawdust. All right, just a quick dry fit to see how everything looks. Overall, things look good. Corners are all tight. Some of these splines are just a tiny bit too tight because when I put glue on them, everything's going to swell just a tiny bit, which will likely cause me heartache trying to put this together. So I'm going to take it all apart once I'm done and make those a tiny bit smaller. And then I have to figure out the kind of design that I'm going to do before I go much further. I think I'm going to cut a curve into the side here. This is the side, this is the front. And then I got to figure out if I've got enough room to put a little drawer in the front. So that's next. I'm going to have a look at that, map some stuff out, and see if I'm going to dado in for the bottoms and kind of go from there. All right, some design changes mid-stride. As you've probably noticed, I had to make my splines larger, and that was due to me cutting a drawer face into the front of this. So I had to cut this into pieces and then cut out the drawer face, which then decreased the overall length of this by a quarter of an inch. So I had to cut this a quarter of an inch smaller to take up the spacing there from the saw curve. I had to do the same cut on the back, obviously, to maintain square. That changed the angle that I had in here, or the size of my kerf that I was using for the splines. So I had to cut those larger, which turned out to be a happy accident, actually. I actually like the look of the larger splines in the material itself better than I did with the smaller spline. It's a little bit more noticeable, and as it's more of a design feature than a strength feature, I like it better. So I'm happy with how that all went. I just got to tune up a few things on the corners there, and then I'm going to start working on the front and dadoing in the little pieces here. I'm going to cut some 3/8 inch dados into the top structure, and then I'll tie that into the back so that when I build the drawer, I've got something to attach the slides to, and then we'll continue on from there. Okay, some more changes as we've been going along here. This is actually cut off from my drawer stock, and I was looking at it and I thought, hey, why don't I put those in as dividers? Then I can build the little boxes that'll go in there for all the knickknacks that'll go in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch reveal. I actually use this little scribe tool to go down there and trace out my same curve, giving me that 1/4 inch higher. So I'm going to cut one out and then use that like I did the other ones, mirrored across the other ones. And we will cut those out and build a little frame within a frame. And I think it's going to look pretty good. So we'll start doing that next. Okay, progress has been made, albeit a little bit slow for today, but everything worked out. What you can see in front of you is the bottom side of the desk caddy. What I've done is I have roughed in my drawer, and I have also put in my drawer guides. So these two on the outside here, my drawer guides, they have 3/8 inch grooves on there that the drawer rails system is going to go into, and then I have the corresponding 3/8 inch groove for the mate for that, which I have not yet cut. And if I move this, it'll make a little bit more sense. So this is essentially the drawer. Obviously nothing is glued up, so everything's a little bit loose right now. But this is my drawer. This is how it's going to sit in there. And once I have the rail guides in, it'll slide in nice and square. You can see that that fits pretty flush just as it is. So the next thing I've got to do is figure out how to glue this and finish it, because I'm going to have to finish it in stages. So I'm going to have to do most of the oil-based finish that I'm going to do on it first, because the next step that I'm going to do is I have some suede that I'm going to use for the liner inside the drawer. And obviously I want to have everything predominantly finished before I put the suede on, so I don't get any finishing product stuck on that and ruin it. So that'll be next. All right, as you can see, things got rather frantic at the end there. The band clamp wasn't working. So I ended up doing, I got three, six, seven, eight clamps on there. So I pulled the band clamp off, added all the clamps, pulled the corners together. I think the splines were fighting this corners from coming together. I think there's a little bit of friction in there. But I eventually got it together. There's one corner, kind of hard to see. It's over here. Is a little bit of a gap on it, like half a millimeter. I should be able to burnish that over though, so it's not as noticeable. I unfortunately wasn't able to check for square. It was square originally when I did a dry fit of everything. But yeah, sometimes the best laid plans don't always go the way they should. And with woodworking, you have to adapt and figure out another way, which is what we did here. Okay, so we are going to add all of the framing for the little boxes in here. And I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue on. Not that it really needs it. But it makes me feel better. All right, so just going to wipe up the rest of the glue that came off there, and throw a couple of little clamps on just to hold the side. There's a little bit of play on it, so I'm hoping the glue in there will hold everything together. So yeah, we're gonna clamp that, throw a couple clamps on there, wipe off the glue, and start making the little boxes. And once again, if you made it this far in the video, I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video, if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel. This lets me know that you want me to continue putting out this kind of content. So without further ado, obviously the finished product in front of you, the little maple trays that I talked about, they're just for little inserts, just to contain all the knickknacks that you might have in your pocket. Obviously I'm filming off my phone, so this is the phone case. Sunglasses, various other items, you can put them wherever you like. And then in the drawer here, I have another little tray that could easily go up on top there or even in front here if you wanted. But I thought it kind of looked nice in the drawer, and it also contains anything, or if you don't want something super visible, you can just slide it towards the back there. So again, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I certainly enjoyed making it. This is a fun little project, and I hope you have a good day.